Hey everybody, welcome back. Your host Superman. Wow, I don't know if you remember the 2007-2008 financial crisis, mortgage-backed securities and things like that, and of course the Great Recession they called it. Well, here we are. We got Michael Burry, Michael J. Burry of The Big Short, the famous person from The Big Short that called that early, and of course has been the talk of the town since. So if you've seen The Big Short movie, you'll know who Michael J. Burry is. And of course, pretty much put it all on the line for the gamble, and of course, it paid off. So definitely check that out. We've got, we'll have a look at the website, but here's a couple of the tweets from Michael J. Burry. Pretty much very good at calling these things. Not always right, but pretty good. And of course, his tweets in the last week, which is pretty neat here. It's on Michael J. Burry. It's on Archive as well. Michael Burry Archive here on Twitter. But we're going to look at a couple of these comments. Adjusted for inflation 2022, first half S&P down 26%, and NASDAQ down 34 to 35%, Bitcoin down 64 to 65%. That's what it was. McQueen calls multiple compression. Next up, earnings compression. So obviously all these happening at the same time. Next up, earnings compression. We know that in a week's time, we've got banking earnings coming up. So it's going to be fascinating to see that happen too. So maybe halfway there, he says, maybe in the pullback. I guess he's referring to on these numbers here. So expecting more pain is Michael J. Burry. The other thing, of course, let's look at his next tweet here. This is on the 2nd of July, so that was the first. Drugs are hard to kick. The Federal Reserve was supposed to sell 30 billion in treasuries and 7.5 billion mortgage-backed securities per month starting June the 1st. Remember, their balance sheet is at 9 trillion at the moment. During June, MBS holding rose almost 3 billion. So instead of selling it off, it actually rose. So rose 3 billion. Tree holdings fell less than 10 billion. So pretty crazy there. Drugs are hard to kick, as he says. So it's interesting stuff happening there. See what else he's got in the last week. This is 7 hours ago. This is his latest one here. So 3 big tweets. Seems China moves on Taiwan in 2023. And this is my gut feeling too, that China will probably move to Taiwan in 2023. It's still got more military build-up and things like that to do, particularly the amphibious assault. If that's the main way, it seems obvious that they would have to do it. They are under supported in that. As the war in Ukraine spreads into the EU, maybe via Lithuania, onshoring. I suspect that too. I also suspect that maybe in the next 9 months, the Ukraine war will be wrapped up. Now that they've changed their strategy, seem to be making progress, is Russia. Onshoring blue collar shortages plus global supply chain restructuring raise long-term inflation's floor even as the bullwhip cycles are lower to the end. So onshore blue collar shortages, definitely that's the case, plus global supply chain restructuring, and that could be even bigger, a bigger deal. And of course, raising long-term inflation's floor. In other words, inflation is not transitory; it's going to be here to stay, and it's going to, raise the level of that, even as the bullwhip cycles lower to the end. So obviously that's a big deal. So some nice little updates there. These are all archived because Michael Burry on his own channel, Twitter channel, he deletes them. So these all get snapshotted and added to the Burry archive here. So you see add Burry archive. You can obviously see if you've seen the Big Short movie, who acted as Michael Burry in that. So very cool. Hope you enjoyed that. Feel free to subscribe, like, share, hit the bell. I thought it was a cool bit of tidbit there coming from somebody that's made some pretty cool famous calls back in 2007, 2008. All right, catch you. Subscribe, like, share, hit the bell. I'll catch you in the next one. Bye for now.